In fact, the evaluation that they've just done, the final year students are coming out this year, and the results show that they have a higher GPA than those who did science because they are fully determined. They've had the opportunity of a lifetime, something that they never thought they would get the opportunity to do, and therefore they kill themselves to study.
Right.
And they come to engineering from a very practical perspective. They did home economics, they did visual arts, and all these other courses. They are coming to engineering from a different perspective altogether. So we're going to get a mixture of different breed of engineers in the country, and those I'm excited about more are the visual artists. Because if they are part of any project team, and they were doing computer engineering, the visual part of the software development, software engineering, those people, now that they've mastered their mathematics and all that other courses, will do better software than those who came straight from science without a visual arts background. I'm just using this to say that universities invariably cannot be compelled to do certain things, but you can incentivize them.
Right.
To do so many things for your country, whether it's research, innovation, university, industry, collaboration, with money following, great things will happen because they will run for the money and do the work for the betterment of the nation.
Honorable, I had two young men here. One was a 19-year-old who is not actually going to university. And his point was very simple, is that the unemployment is brutal. He would go and then finish and he won't get a job to do. You run a system where it was free SHS. So what that meant was that a lot more people are going to have access to education. Now, with a country that doesn't have jobs for people who are educated and have certificates, how do you feel that it's still imperative that we put more people through the same system that's not prepared to employ them?
This is one thing that we all need to understand. It's a chicken and egg
situation,
kind of, situation. Because invariably, it's the type of education that we are giving to the children. That's the reason why we are not getting the job the way we should.
You think there are jobs?
We are not creating innovators who are supposed to create the jobs. Now, Oxford University, for example, have gone away from the classical education that we're offering. Now, a certain percentage of their graduates are creating jobs before they leave. If you don't incentivize that space, look at the top companies in the software space, in the computer space, were they created by people like me? They were created by young people who sometimes left the university.
They said they don't have capital.
And that is where the facilitation should come.
Right.
Angel investors should be incentivized. That if you do angel investing and you facilitate the work of these young people, we will exempt you from corporate taxes for a certain number of years. The amount that you invest in these young people, whether you did well or they didn't do well, at least we are waiving taxes, and therefore you can redeem some of your loss. So we reduce the risk for you as an angel investor. And by the way, instead of us setting up all these organizations that give away monies, why are we not giving those monies to angel investors who know how to invest in the right businesses as no interest loans from the government to angel investors?
Honorable, this conversation is so sweet. And I say that because it almost as if anytime I speak to a politician, they are not the problem. At least as the conversation progresses, I figure out that they have all the ideas.
If the politician has not done it, it's different. Me, most of the things you're going to ask me, I've done it. And I'll tell you, this is how I did it.
Yeah.
So if you are talking to me, be ready to know that most of the things you come on, I will tell you, this is how I did it. It may not be, we are not continuing, but at least when I was there, I saw that something needed to be done. So I'm not here to blame anybody and say it's the fault of this, it's the fault of that.
Yeah, but Honorable, like what you are saying about angel investments being backed, given the support by government. I mean, you may well also say that the government can set up an institution that invests in small businesses, right? Or invest in people who are coming out of either university or SHS with brilliant ideas.
Let me tell you, we had them. If you come to the Ministry of Education, there was an organization through TVET service that were investing in companies. Good. Some of them, they did very well. But I'm thinking for efficiency, you can do both. Incentivize angel investor. Why am I saying that? An angel investor look at risk and look at opportunity.
Yep.
So if you ask me for somebody whose ministry did some of this investment in companies, I'll tell you, I should rather do both. And let the angel investor know that you can invest in these young people and you are not going to pay taxes on the revenue that comes to you. And if I do that, I think the government will have a much better impact than just a government agency giving monies away to people to expand. I'd rather go through an angel investor with a track record,
right,
who can support the young men. And when they succeed, he's also succeeding.
Right.
And the government is cutting him a slack from taxes on top of it. So I think we have to do both.
But then we both agree that of the 500,000 people that are coming out of schools waiting for jobs, the government cannot support all of them.
And I can also agree with you that entrepreneurship, at least coming out of university, is not for everyone. There are some people who need to have some experience with something before they can become entrepreneurs. They must be in the industry and they see how things go. Not everyone can just come out of the university and he's an entrepreneur.
Right.
Not everyone. So job creation is a critical aspect of what we need to do in order for us to hire the graduates who are coming out. So I'm not the type that will say, let's just get them, support them to set up their own businesses. No. I rather would say a private business that want to expand. How do we incentivize? If a private business might hire a graduate, do we exempt him from some taxes per the graduate that they hire, the number that they hire? Why would I do that? Yeah. I would do that because, you see, if I waive taxes for the company based on the number of graduates that they hire, that graduate is going to pay income tax. And it will literally replace the tax that I have waived for that private company. So at the end of the day, it was done in the US, during Obama's time. They started incentivized companies that were employing graduates. And consequently, more companies were doing that. But you also have to begin to seriously look at the purchasing power issue, livable wages issue. You want people to produce for what market? When you are paying people 2,000 cedis, and you know it doesn't suffice for transport, but that is what you are paying them. If we don't confront the issue of lack of livable wages in this country, you're going to be stuck in the hole for a long time to come. Something needs to be done. Productivity needs to be increased.